Morning. Thank you for inviting me to give a talk on what the contribution Catie is making on the 4x1000. Can you put this presentation on, please? Okay, Catie is now celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and I must say that since the inception, it has been working towards sustainable agriculture using systemic approaches, but also working at the landscape and understanding to promote good practices, and with a focus on soil health and looking at productivity of the systems, but also looking at the governance at the landscape level. We have a platform together coordinated with CIRAD and many partners working with agroforestry. And with this platform, we've been working towards promoting good agroforestry and good practices with a focus on improving the soil health, but also on food security and productivity, while at the same time looking at ecosystem services. Catie has been looking at the quantification of ecosystem services, looking at soil, carbon. I think we need to put more emphasis in soil biodiversity, which is a key aspect in discussion, and also looking at developing tools for payment of ecosystem services. As you probably know, Costa Rica is one of the countries that has been championing the payment of ecosystem services, and now is in the second generation of payment of ecosystem services, which include soil health. Next, please. So we just launched a new initiative on regenerative agriculture, which is now we have a platform in which soil health is a central role in terms of what we do with regenerative agriculture, but also focusing on the value chain and looking at how you have added value with working with regenerative agriculture. So this fits along with many of what has been discussed with other speakers. Next. And the focus on our work has been looking at examples of how do you move at scales. You'll probably know that Costa Rica has been a country that has a plan to become decarbonized by 2050. The agriculture sector is part of this plan, and working together with the IKI funding and the GIZ, Catie has been collaborating in terms of using knowledge generating from soils to look at the NAMAs for livestock, NAMAs for coffee, the bananas, and now they're working in rice as the way of looking at how do you reduce emission from these sectors, but also the role of carbon removals, of carbon sequestration in the system as a way of moving towards the carbon neutrality of the system. So we've been working towards this direction. Next. And also on a focus in terms of a diversity, more on functional diversity of the systems, the agroforestry systems, and more multi-strata systems, understanding the trade-offs that you have in terms of ecosystem services and productivity, but also looking at those systems that are producing more rich carbon soils or more healthy soils, but at the same time improving productivity and food security of the systems. So agroforestry has been a central role of our research, working with different partnerships with many areas. And I must say that if you go into Central America, you can see many of the coffee or the cocoa or even the silvopasture systems at scales where small farmers are integrating trees, a diversity of the trees and systems that we're working on. And we have developed tools also in terms of decision-making, in terms of planning and designing these systems, working together with the local partners and at a global scale. Next. The next slide is an example where you talk about moving to the 4x1000 initiative at scale. Catie has been collaborating with the Global Agenda for Sustainable Livestock, and you probably know a large percentage of the pastures are degraded. We're also working in terms of promoting more carbon neutrality of these systems, where restoring soil carbon is one of the key areas. And this is an example of where we are working throughout Latin America in partnerships with good examples how farmers are now integrating silvopastoral and good pasture management systems for restoring degraded lands, but also together with the WRI, the World Resource Institute, we have the initiative on 2020 initiative, and now moving beyond the 2020 initiative for restoration of degraded ecosystems, putting emphasis on restoration of soil. So thank you. This is my presentation, and we can share more information on what we have. Thank you.